Hey everybody, and welcome to Jonnychipz Weekly. It is Friday the 19th of March 2021 and it's time for Jonnychipz Weekly number 12. So hi again everybody, it is Friday lunchtime in the UK. Welcome to the end of the week for us all. Hope everybody's well, thanks so much for tuning in again this week. Like I keep saying every week, I want to try and keep these videos down to as short a time as possible because our time is precious. But there's been so many announcements in the Azure world, plus there's so much happening across the community, I thought I'm not going to skimp on some of those things. As always, we're going to kick things off with the Azure news and updates, a little bit around about the Welsh Azure user group. We had our latest meetup last night, a little bit around community callouts, and then just a little glimpse into the world of what I'm getting up to on the side of things. So without further ado, let's jump straight on over and let's have a little look at the Azure updates. So we've had around about 18 updates, I think, over the past 7 days from the Azure product teams. So let's just jump straight on in. I'm not going to dwell on every one of them, but I'll quickly skip through them so you can see the kind of things that we've got announced this week. So first one is that we can directory scope those shared access signatures. So those SAS keys that you can use to access generally into storage accounts and file shares, they've scoped them now at the directory level, so you can offer granular control to users. So that's pretty cool. Be playing about with that at some point. Obviously, from a security standpoint, that is a great announcement to have. What have we got? So Azure Data Explorer performance update. So Engine v3 is now generally available. So it looks like they've offered some better support and performance updates for Custo. So the AD, Azure Data Explorer. So cool. That's good to see. I'll read a little bit more about that there. Public preview. So we've got app service managed certificates now supports Apex domains. Okay, so Apex domains being the root domain essentially. Before now, obviously you had to buy a wildcard cert or something like that. I think what they're saying now is that when you want to use those app service managed certs within Azure, you can actually buy them now, a named cert for the root domain. It says there that each certificate will be valid for 6 months, and then about a month before the cert's expiration date, the app service is going to renew that. So cool. So if you've got any applications or reason to use those sort of, I call them bare domains, naked domains, Apex domains, the root essentially, that's a cool announcement. So that's in preview. Okay, service broker message exchange for Azure SQL managed instance in public preview. Okay, I'll have to read a little bit more about that, but that looks pretty cool to me. Generally available, Azure Data Explorer performance updates. Okay, so they've done some performance updates with ADE. Machine learning services on Azure SQL managed instance has now gone GA. Okay, cool. That's pretty cool then. So just having a quick read here. So machine learning capabilities enabled to operate your own R or Python runtime with increased performance on pre-configured SQL managed instance. Cool. So yeah, I think I remember that going into some form of a preview a little while back. So that's gone GA. Another GA announcement, dynamic data masking, the granular permissions for Azure SQL and Azure Synapse. So yeah, that DDM, that dynamic data masking that you can do within Azure SQL. So they've GA'd the granular permissions for that, the ability to obviously show or hide specific rows or data sets based on who is looking. Cool. Long-term backup retention for Azure SQL managed instance in public preview. Now that's cool because I've had a few conversations around sort of data retention in the past with some customers. So yeah, okay, so obviously if you've got some sort of regulatory compliance to keep data for a prolonged period of time, it looks like with this long-term retention policy that's in preview at the moment, you can set that for up to 10 years. Very good. Cool. Next one, Azure Monitor SQL Insights for Azure SQL in public preview. Okay, they've offered some more SQL insights into the Azure Monitor service. I'll have to take a look at that. GA, monitor your spending through forecasted cost alerts with Azure Cost Management and Billing. Okay, so they basically announced that the forecasted cost alerts has now gone GA. Pretty cool. Next one, Azure API management support for request and response validation policies has reached GA. Okay, I'm not going to profess to know exactly what that one is, but it's there. Take a look. Okay, limited preview. That's interesting. So AMD-backed virtual machines make workloads, make them confidential without recompiling code. So it looks like this is a limited preview. So, I mean, if you are working in that space and you're doing stuff with AMD-backed VMs, then it looks like Microsoft have announced a limited preview that you can sign up for there if that is of interest to you. Azure Storage Explorer version 1.18.0 has now gone GA, so it looks like they've done some enhancements to the product. Log files have now more descriptive names, speed up the startup time. Cool. 1.18. GA Media Services adds new standby mode for live events to speed up start times from the warm state. Okay. Cool. I mean, media services is such a compelling thing within Azure that, I mean, I've been tempted for all the YouTube and video content that I'm creating to actually look into media services a bit more and see what I can do from a point of sort of live streaming and that sort of thing. So it looks like they're making some slight enhancements to that, adding this standby feature. Pretty cool. Another media services GA announcement. So they've introduced some new security features, customer managed keys, some trusted storage, managed identities. Cool. So it's the enhancements to the media services feature set. And some Azure IoT Central updates. So they've got some feature updates, reuse of interfaces, some API updates, dashboard updates, and some documentation improvements. So that's very cool to see. And that's an area that I'm working through at the moment as it happens. Okay, Brazil South availability zones has now gone GA. Cool. And then Azure expands PCI DSS certification. Okay, absolutely fantastic. So that kind of brings us to the end of our Azure news update. As always, I like to give everybody a little bit of an update with what's been going on in the world of the Azure user group. So I'm going to ping back over to my desktop, and we shall take a look at that. Okay, so last night was our March Lightning Talk session, and firstly, thank you to everybody that attended. Huge thanks to all the speakers that came and gave a lightning talk. I think the format and the event went down really well with everybody in the chat. I think we had around about the late 40s, 50 people in the meetup, which is really good. Thanks so much for everybody's support on that. But you can see there we had Martin Copeland, Murtietta, Chris Reddington, Darren Robinson, Neil McLaughlin, Shabazz Dar, and Rolf McLaughlin. They all came and they gave a talk in and around bits of Azure. So they were all brilliant sessions in their own right, related to various aspects of Azure. If you missed it, jump onto the YouTube channel somewhere around there. You'll find that video got uploaded last night. I've time-stamped all the different speakers so you can jump straight to them if you want to. Huge thanks, and thanks so much for the audience participation. We had some great interaction across Twitter with tweeting your home office companion, and the winner of the Amazon voucher will be picked soon. So stay tuned for that one. But yeah, huge thanks to everybody for their support and the attendance and the speakers. Just to remind everybody, our next meetup is on April the 15th. So please do jump on over to, if you follow at Welsh Azure, you'll see the meetup URL, the meetup links. Go and give us your support. Be great to see you at that event. Like I say, it's April the 15th. We're going to have 3 lightning talks to begin. So Anaban, Vukasin and Matt are all going to do sort of lightning talks. Then we've got what we're calling the feature talk. So a 45-minute to an hour talk from Pete Gallagher and Liam Gulliver. So no Jonnychipz Weekly would be complete without the mention of Pete. I know you might be watching there, Pete. So drop your name in again. It's always good fun. Okay, yep. So, in terms of the Welsh Azure User Group news, just a quick section this week. I'm keen to get over to the sort of the community callouts and the bits that I've been working on the side, if you like, over the last week, because there's been some great things going on, to be honest. So, community callout, let's go. First one I want to call out. Great friends and colleagues of mine, Dean Ellaby and Andy Jones, have set up their cloud management user group. They've got their first meetup happening. And in fact, I think we've spotted a little typo there, Mr. Ellaby. So I'll let Dean know. So I don't think it's the March meetup. I think it's actually April. So 13th of April. Go and give the guys a follow. They're on Twitter. It's all 365 endpoint management, security, you know, basically that side of things. I've worked with the guys now for a number of years, and they're both fantastic, really knowledgeable guys. So if you're in that space, if you've got that interest, go and give them a follow. They've got at Cloud MGMTUG on Twitter. Join in, be great, show them support, and I know they've got some really interesting things planned for that meetup. So yeah, obviously I'm not going to give the game away. I know what it is, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how that pans out. So I'm going to be there. Show the guys support. That'd be awesome. Moving on, a big shout out to Lisa Clark. Obviously last night she did a live unboxing on a YouTube. Go and watch that. She's got some fantastic content in terms of, I mean, Lisa at the Edge is her YouTube channel. She's had some fantastic guests on a show, which I think she did originally podcasting and then turned it into the YouTube video. So you can see there just the caliber of guests that she's had on is fantastic. So go give her a follow, like and a subscribe, and obviously huge congratulations. It was great to see. I watched the video back last night of her live unboxing her MVP award, so thoroughly deserved, and obviously, yeah, keep up the great work, Lisa. So I just wanted to call Lisa out there, and like I say, go and give that a watch, a like and a follow. Moving on, okay, the Glasgow Azure user group. So Techie Lass, Sarah Lean, has got a call out, a session, I think, basically doing some more lightning talks. So they're a great format. I mean, after doing them for the first time last night with the Welsh user group, they are a cracking format. Really enjoyed it. It was kind of really concise. Glasgow's user group have got a link there. If you want to speak, join in, support the user groups, because they're just a fantastic resource to have, and it's great to see the kind of quantity and the quality that we've got across the UK. So obviously in these virtual times as well, we don't have to be in the UK. So if you've got a talk and you've got something to say around the world of Azure, go and give Techie Lass a follow, Sarah. Jump on there, submit your session, and that'll be really great support for all the community user groups. And sticking with that theme, the Thames Valley Azure user group, I gave this session a watch the other night. Fantastic session from Alan Erdley on, basically it was an overview of security and compliance, you know, across the Microsoft stack virtually. I believe that's been recorded, and I'm sure that will be uploaded soon. But again, I know, so Chris Reddington is running, is co-running with this Azure user group. So go and give the guys a follow. Show your support if you can. I know there's loads of content going on. I know there's a lot of user groups, but really, I mean, it's just fantastic to see everybody putting in the time, the effort, the commitment, you know, getting these talks set up, and then the speakers coming on and giving their time purely to give back to you, you know, so that you can up your knowledge, pique your interest, get you networking a little bit. So they're fantastic events. So big shout out to the Azure Thames Valley user group. And sticking with the same theme, my good friend Carl Cook, he has got LDNA, so Limerick.net as your user group. They've got their next session organised for the 8th of April. So again, keeping with the same theme, Carl is a great guy across Twitter. Go and give him a follow. Certainly go and give the LDNA Twitter. I believe they got Twitter. Yeah, must have Twitter. Carl, put it in the chat if you have. Yeah, there it is, limerick.net. So go and give them a follow. And obviously join in. Again, 8th of April. Obviously Bicep, infrastructure as code. It's being talked about quite a lot. They've got a great talk there going on the 8th of April. So go and give them a follow. That would be great. Also, one thing I wanted to call out, Dean Safola. So if you don't follow Dean on his Azure Academy, on his YouTube channel, I've been trying to keep up to date with these videos, only purely because the AZ-140 exam is going beta at the end of this month. Dean has put together a whole series of study guides, so AZ-140, where he's doing these short, you know, sort of 10, 15-minute videos covering every area of WVD. I've not watched them all. I've managed to catch, I would probably say, just over half of them. But I do intend on working my way back through them again. Just wanted to call it out because if you are planning on doing that AZ-140 exam when it goes beta, this is a fantastic set of resources. Dean's got a great way of presenting the kind of themes and context and what's going on. So surprised if you're in the world of Azure, I'm sure you're one of those 26,000 people that's following Dean's YouTube channel. But if you're not, great content, great resource, and it doesn't stop there. Dean has been doing this for so long now. He has got videos covering, well, virtually every area. Go and give him a follow. It's great content. And that's the end of my community call out. So as always, everybody in the community are all doing fantastic work, certainly helping me out a lot, with my own personal learning journey. So obviously, thank you. And yeah, anything you can do to support the community, I'd urge everybody to do that, because it's, it's a great thing. And certainly under the current circumstances, it gives us, that little bit of sanity check, I guess, as and when you can. Time is precious for us all, but if you need it, if you want to get involved, it's there for you. Okay, final section of the show, and I'm doing quite well. I know I'm racing through all of this at the moment. We're up to the 15-minute mark. So, Jonnychipz on the side. So first off, it is Friday. It's time for another installment of In Conversation With, and really excited to put this talk out later on the Azure Live Twitch TV channel. Had a great conversation with Simon Shetty. So Simon is based in Silicon Valley over in the US. He works for a company called Neuro at the moment, but he's ex-Lyft, ex-Tesla. We have a great conversation around driverless vehicles, robotics in general. We talk about the ethics. Really looking forward to putting this out later. If you can, 6:30 GMT, Azure Live, twitch.tv or twitch.tv/Azure Live. That'll be going out. Join in. I'll be there in the chat. Join in the chat if you can and say hello. But that will be there. And if you can't make it, then it will be going out on my YouTube. I think it's set to go live just an hour later. So if you can't make the live stream, but please do try. That would be awesome to have you there. Sneak peek. Next week's guest. We haven't even got over this week's guest, but next week's guest, I've got the awesome April Edwards coming on the show. So that will be next Friday, which, to work out the dates, next Friday is the 26th. Yeah, a little bit of a sneak peek. If you're watching this and you manage to get the 17-minute mark, you know who my guest is for next week now. April is such an amazing character, an amazing person in general. Just to have that chat with her, she's got some absolutely brilliant insights into the world of DevOps and development and operations. It's just I really chuffed with that chat with April. So looking forward to that one going live next week. And on the same theme, just wanted to give a big shout out to DevOps Derek, aka Derek Campbell. I've started to try and get ahead of myself a little bit with what's going on in the world of my In Conversation With videos. So I had a catch up with Derek the other night. So thanks, Derek. And on the same note, same principle to Techie Last Sarah Lean. This week's been a bit of a busy week, but had some fantastic conversations with those guys as well. So stay tuned on my channel. Okay, what else has been going on? So this week, from a work perspective, I've been involved with an Azure Arc hybrid management hack. So essentially, this was a 2-day theme. I've done a blog article about it. You can go and have a little bit of a read up. But it's essentially a 2-day thing split into a series of tasks. As if you've been on Microsoft Open Hacks before, they're of that theme, where you get set a series of challenges. Now, all of these challenges are publicly available. They're on the Azure Citadel website, which is there. So it's azurecitadel.com. And you can see that we've got all of the challenges down the side and just a rough agenda of how you should work through them. Go and have a little read, but it was a really insightful 2 days. Essentially, some of the work that I'd done briefly before, I've done some YouTube on it, but certainly when we get into the weeds, I suppose, with sort of manually onboarding, servers that are in your on-prem or other clouds into Azure Arc, is one way. It's a simple sort of generate a script and install that script on the machine in question, and it will be represented in Azure as an Azure Arc enabled machine. And that's great for manual onboarding. We talked about obviously scaling that onboarding process, then using scripts and things like that. In this case, we used Ansible, which was pretty cool. There was some nice little quirks, and again, I blogged all of this, so go and have a read of how this works. We use Azure Policy to assign policy, at the management group level for our subscription that will essentially, things like push tags down from resource groups. It will, enable other agents to be installed. And I think the whole conversation around the agents that we install for things like log analytics or the dependency agent, we had a whole talk then around the new Azure Monitor agent. So Microsoft have packaged the AMA, a new agent that will go on and kind of act as the main transporter agent for all VMs. They try to consolidate a baseline agent. It's not to say there won't be other agents needed, but I think the way Microsoft have changed it now is that with the Azure Monitor agent, all the extension or the extended features that you may need for specific workloads will be bolted in as extension agents, but fundamentally managed by the Azure Monitor agent. So there was loads. There was absolutely loads that we got through over the last 2 days. Like I say, I'm still scrolling through my blog here. So if Azure Arc is your thing and you want to learn more about it, then please have a little read. Like I say, there's some information about the AMA. I know. Pierre Roman did a talk not so long about. Actually, I put a link to it there in my blog, just from the product team, just more information about why they decided to change that approach. What problems it was causing customers, things like that. Also, Darren Small, he was our mentor on the course. Had a great little catch up with Darren. He gave us a great insight overview. Obviously, only scratched the surface because there's a lot going on with Azure Stack family of products at the moment. So. Pretty cool. And I was chatting with Darren briefly on LinkedIn the other night, and I actually ordered one of these for an internal project in work at the moment. So got an Azure Stack Edge on order at the moment. I'm hoping to get that racked and stacked in a location down the road to do some great stuff from a business perspective. So like I say, there was loads and loads of good content that came off the back of this Azure Arc Hack. I blogged it there, so go to my blog. Look for that blog article to have a little read through. Check out AzureCitadel.com. It's not just the hack on there. You can see that there's a lot of things. There's stuff about enterprise scale. There's stuff about networking, Packer, Ansible. So big shout out to the One Cloud. I think it's the OCP team in Microsoft. They put a great deal of effort into that and brought all of that together. So thanks for that. Just sticking with the theme of Arc, also Thomas Maurer has had a chat with Lior Kamrat around this Azure Arc Jumpstart project, effectively. Thomas has done a fantastic blog article pulling all the pieces together. But if you've got the desire to kind of get up and running pretty quickly, then the product teams and Microsoft have put together this Jumpstart sort of area. So for Azure Arc. The URL is azurearcjumpstart.io. And if you go there, it's basically around trying to get you to become this, from zero to hero with Azure Arc, giving you lots of different scenarios, what you might want to do. So from servers to SQL Server to Kubernetes and data. And you can click into these areas and really just drill down into the kind of information that you need. And there's scripts, there's example scripts, there's all sorts of things there. So, you can see there's really detailed screenshots of how to get some of this stuff up and running and working. It's a great set of resources, so I just wanted to call that out. Okay, coming to the end of Jonnychipz on the side. That was a great 2 days, so let's move on now. Other things that have been going on in my life this week. I got new lighting, so I mean, to be honest with you, I haven't really played with it a huge amount. So, I mean, I can make myself brighter, as you can see on my little screen there. I can make myself darker. I mean, it's just one of those things. I think, they're Elgato key lights. So I've moved the position of this one on my left back a little bit, back towards the wall, to be more in the same position as that one now. But you can see they just clamp onto the desk there. They come in boxes, obviously. I'm not sure why I put that picture there. But you can see they clamp onto the desk. All of these pads, the LED pads there, you can control the color temperature. So whether it be, if I try and do it now live, I can make it warmer. So you can see my little camera is getting a bit more orangey. Makes my red face go even redder. And then I can get a bit cooler with the color. So, and I can obviously go pretty bright. So they do go pretty bright to the point that I'm quite overexposed. So like I say, I'm playing about with them at the moment, having a, every video I do like this, I just, hopefully it comes up and I'll make it look better as we go. But yeah, just wanted to call out those pictures. Really good fun, easy to set up. Got them all controlled on my Stream Deck down here on my desk. Whereas before, the ring lights, I kind of had to lean over and flick them on with little switches, which it's not the end of the world, but certainly a little bit more automated, which is always cool. And finally, last thing, I've had a Jetson Nano developer kit delivered this week. It's here by the side of me. It's I don't want to say it's like a Raspberry Pi, but they're the similar sort of concept, that it's a mini computer essentially. We've got network ports, USBs, HDMI's, SD card reader, things like that, and a wonking great, as you can see there, heatsink on top where the chip is. So clearly this is this is a 2 gig model, as you can see. It cost me about £50-odd, £60, I think, from Pimoroni. Basically, I signed up to one of Paul DiCarlo's NVIDIA sort of Jetstream labs he's got coming up. I think it's next week. It's a couple of hours, one afternoon. I'm hoping to get this up and running, get it configured, get something on there, some OS, just have a little bit of a play with it. And I'm going to join that session next week. And yeah, take it from there. See where we go. I think my idea is to develop my AI cat flap a little bit, and maybe I do it on this. It's a bit of a beast of a device for a cat flap, but it's just about me learning and the principles at the moment, so I'm not really too concerned about that. Okay, so let me flick back to main camera view. There we go. Thank you so much again to everybody for watching and staying tuned. Like I say, there's lots going on at the moment in terms of community, the Welsh user group, Azure news and updates. I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you to everybody for watching this and supporting me. It is hugely appreciated. So I'm going to call it there. Thanks for tuning in to Jonnychipz Weekly number 12. And until next week, I've been John Lunn, aka Jonnychipz, and have a great week, everybody.